Hey everybody, it's Matt Powell with PromEc.com. One of the things that I often see is that there's a mechanical difference in the way that people do strikes, that they're not understanding exactly what they're accomplishing in the combative space. So, in the combative space, what we either are going to move linearly or we're going to move in an angular motion. I've got Sarah Jamieson from Evolution here. She's been here training and teaching me and filming with us, so she's going to be helping me out with this video. You can tell very easily what kind of strike that you're doing and whether it's working or not by the angle of shearing that you're going to get. So what we're going to look at is how to use this pad and see if your student or yourself working with a training partner is getting a good, accurate, real combative strike. And what I mean by that is what this accomplishes. So what I'm going to have her do is she's going to just push me in the chest. Just push me. Okay? So what generally happens is that, when people are working on strikes and they're working on, fighting the gun, fighting to a weapon, fighting to get away, then they end up pushing into the chest. That does nothing. All it does is it displaces the person backwards a step or two, or maybe a few more steps if you really push into them, but combatively it does nothing unless you have one of the three stooges kneeling behind them and they flip over and knock themselves out. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is come up into the face. Here. The reason that we want to do that is, and this is one of the most common, the old hand yoke, whatever you want to call it, heel palm, one of the most common things that we want to do is because it gives us access to a couple of different things. When that comes up into there, it gives us access to the throat here. It also gives us access to knee to groin there. It's a much more effective way of pushing somebody off because we're doing damage to the computer. We're getting to the eyes, we're getting to the nose, we're doing that damage. The way that you can tell if that's, and people always ask me like, well, why do I want to do that? I don't want to push the person off. I want to do this. Why are you doing it? You have to break the concept of MMA and UFC and martial art and break them away from combatives. If you listen to our podcast on PromEc Radio, I talk about the true beginning of martial art, the true beginning of MMA, UFC, and so forth is combatives because this is about saving your life at the very beginning. It's about the things that work, and then generationally it gets passed on within tribes or cultures or whatever it is. It gets passed on in that way so that eventually they make a sport out of it so more people can train in it, so more people get access to it. When you make it a sport out of it, you have to take certain things out of it, like throat strikes, eye gouges. Anything that you can do in MMA or anything that you can do in MMA or UFC is what you should be doing to someone else in a combative, active environment. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our kickback, we're going to hold it up. We can see the difference between the two. So go ahead and strike it in the chest. Nail it, hit it. Hit it again. You can see what that's doing to me is it's simply moving me backwards. It's not doing anything. If I'm holding this, go ahead into the chest. It's not doing anything that's going to stop the fight, unless they're tripping over something or something like that. Does it give you space? Yes, it gives you space. But it's not effective space. It's ineffective space because they can recover quickly and gain that territory back. Now you have to fight for the territory that you just gave up. You gave up a step or two, but there was nothing preventing them to come back through it. So now you have to apply force back at me to stop me again. That's why we don't push into the chest. We attack to the face and the neck. So look at the difference between the two. Go ahead. Go up to the face. Okay, go ahead and one hand strike it. You can see what it's doing is it's driving me backwards this way as opposed to this way. Now, go ahead and do a 1-2 strike of face and then neck. Drive it hard. That is effectively creating space. The way that you can tell when you're walking around your training room if this is working is the bag going like this or is the bag going like that. If the bag is going like that, then if you're doing combatives, if the bag is going backwards like this, then your students are not gaining effective space. They're going to have to fight back over that with an aggressor. If the bag is doing this and it's hinging, then you know they're getting effective space because they're doing damage up into the computer, to the eyes, to the nose, to the auditory system, to the vestibular system, with a cupped hand blow, to their circulatory system, to their respiratory system, you know that all this up here is affecting it. So if you look at the way that it blades my body, hit here, there, now hit up here. That's what you want to look for when you're walking around your training environment. So, I want to thank Sarah Jamieson from Moveolution for coming through and helping us make this video. Make sure, what's your website?
www.moveolution.com.
Moveolution, so that's Moveolutin. And you can always go by promec.com and check out what we're doing at Promec. So, until next time, make sure you subscribe below. Is that if I'm holding it up, go ahead and push it into the chest. Most people, what they're going to do is, and you can see that, that's going to give me a little bit of force back. Okay, hold on. I just got popped in the face. Okay. All right. Okay. It's going to be awesome to see on video. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So you have the arm bar, you go down. Move your hand here, pull his arm out, and his lever him. Okay, come back out. I'll show it slow. It's advanced levers. Not power, not power. Okay, he gets the arm bar, right? Now he's got a good one because he's cooking.